Hey,
Hey,
hey.
cheers, Witty. Team, good afternoon. I got
Ah,
that right.
proud of you,
I
proud
got
of
that
you, proud
right.
of you.
I know what time of the day it is. It is afternoon. And most importantly, it is ed time. It is time for us to slow down, have a discussion, and really get a little bit deeper and start to identifying that treasure within ourselves. So, team, swipe in, say good afternoon, grab your pens and papers, get that ready, and let's treasure ourselves. I'm going to share us.
Perfect. Team, so Ed Talk, educational discussion. I think it's good to just put that out there so we know exactly what is happening. It's a very informal conversation that Lou and I are having with each other and with you guys. And like Lou said, grab your pen and paper. If you feel that there is something relevant throughout this discussion that resonates with you, something that you feel you need to apply, something that you want a little bit more information on, note it down. I think with regards to our topic today, it's very relevant relating to journalizing and diarizing. And it's something that I started incorporating this month. It was one of those goals that I set out for myself to actually on a daily basis, if I do hear someone say something or I experience a situation, to note it down, write it down, and see how that makes me feel, see if that's something that I want to apply to myself and my own life. And I think it's going to be very relevant throughout our discussion today, team. Let us know if you are watching. Please say, how's it? Good afternoon. It is a lovely, lovely Wednesday afternoon. It is raining, pouring down here in Cape Town. So a lovely little setting here with our cups. So while Louis got a coffee, I've got a cup of tea. And our topic for today is the focus is me. So what we've discussed beginning of August was the fact that we're going to be taking you through 4 holistic pillars throughout the month.
Yeah.
And this today and this week is going to be orientated around mindset. So the focus is me, and we're focusing on the pillar of mindset today.
Exactly, team, and like we want to encourage you guys to really grow from this experience. We want you to get a pen and paper right now. If you don't have one, if you're sitting at your desk, that's perfect. We want you guys to start noting things down. So we want you to, as we go through this, maybe not everything is going to resonate with you. Maybe you're not going to take anything from it. But I strongly feel and I know that there is something in this next half an hour that will resonate with you, something that you
Definitely.
can apply to your life. And we want you guys to start being, treat yourself and your life, your personal growth as a business. As hard as you work for your company or for yourself, we want you to start applying that same rules and note it down. Let's start really getting a little bit deeper and finding that ultimate treasures or the methods of how we can discover the treasure within ourselves.
Exactly. And I think the beautiful thing about educating yourself and gaining insights, and I know this is something that I've been so grateful for on my journey with Jeff, is sometimes something is not necessarily applicable to yourself, but more applicable to someone else that is in your life, a family, a friend, a fellow Jeffer, and to be able to take what you're learning, what you're hearing, and to basically take that insight and give it to someone else is such a beautiful gift. I think there's no better gift
100%.
than the gift of education. And it's something that I've also been speaking to quite often in my live workouts. The fact that if we use what we know and pass it on to someone else, just the growth that you're going to be finding throughout all these different individuals is going to be a beautiful thing. And we all have so much that we can learn from each other.
Exactly.
All
Very
right,
deep.
are we, team? I think we're going to jump right into this. So also, if you have a friend that you feel would like to know a little bit more about what it is to prioritize yourself, the focus is you. How do you understand what it means to put the focus on yourself? Please, right now, let them know that this Jeff Ed is going. It will be saved. So there is definitely the option for catch up on this topic.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think it's also great that we can actually get some insight from you guys in the comments. So before we start, please also know that if there is something that you want more information on, you have a question throughout, pop it through, let us know, and we'll either touch on that in this session or we'll get to you guys right after.
Exactly, team. And I just wanted to touch, for me, what we offer at Jeff, there is such a variety, right? Maybe people come into Jeff for the nutrition, people come into Jeff for the exercises, people come into Jeff for the holistic approach, for a little bit of everything. But this is something that kind of like, it's sitting there. There's a lot of gold. There's a lot of value that we feel we put into these sessions. And, we ask you to share this now. There might be someone else on your Facebook or on your platform, one of your friends that could find value from this discussion now. So please, before we get into it, click on the bottom right hand there, share this feed for us. We would greatly appreciate that. And we're going to get straight into it right now.
All right, team. So I want to first start off with just what is the definition of ultimately prioritizing yourself?
Yeah.
And the definition of the statement is giving yourself the time and attention to actually focus on your own needs, desires, and wants. All right. And I think that is something that a lot of us do struggle with. And it's something that what we're going to elaborate a lot more on today, is that within actually prioritizing yourself and putting that time and attention into yourself, we often feel that we're neglecting others and also doing this in a selfish way. And it is a difficult concept to have to actually overcome and to understand, because we have so many other individuals that we want to be uplifting on a daily basis, relating to your kids. You are growing your kids into the little mini humans that they are. Same thing with your husband. You want to be giving your husband or wife a lot of time to help them better themselves, and with our friends as well. But in the process of doing this, we end up neglecting ourselves. And I think the big stuck that we have as individuals is the fact that we feel selfish in putting time into ourselves.
Exactly. And like you say, for me, people find that balance difficult, maybe not difficult to do, but maybe to understand. We as humans are kind of, our brains are tuned to, do one thing, put a lot of focus, but the moment there's a lot happening, work, life, stress, whatever that might be, we start losing focus. And the areas we normally start to kind of like shift our focus away from is the areas that matter for us, right? So finding that balance between, how to prioritize myself without neglecting the ones around me, the ones I love, like your family, for instance, or your friends, right? Now, for me, it is simple. How I see it, okay, it's a bad word to use. Simple is not the word to use. But for me, the way I see it is, if I prioritize myself, I am putting myself in a situation to be better, all right? Just in terms of Joe being around me as a friend, if I prioritize myself, first of all, I feel that things in my life will start to look better, will start to feel better, right? Because it's that whole reverse where I feel better about what I'm doing, right? So I create that whole vibe, that feeling of I've completed something in my life, or, I'm making progress. And by doing that for yourself, you will portray an energy that is very infectious, one, and you would also be, you would be the person that are still giving from your cup to someone else. So I know it is a very difficult thing to not grasp or understand, but to do is having that perfect balance between, prioritizing yourself, but also being there for others, right? And it is a very difficult thing.
100%, team. And I wanna just throw two very relevant, and I would call them like historic quotes that I think we've heard throughout our upbringing and throughout our lives. The first one was always called the golden rule when I was at school, and it was called, it stated,
no chewing gum.
That too. We just pop that under the desk. Team, so I'm sure we've all heard of the phrase saying, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you, right? However, in contrast to that, there's another statement, and one that I want you to think of and actually take to heart a little bit more than that. And that is, you can't pour from an empty cup. So as much as you want to be doing to others and giving to others, if you don't have much in you to give, you're not going to be able to give much. And I want, for those of you that do struggle with this concept of feeling guilty and feeling selfish, Lou and I are just throughout this talk not expecting you to have these major changes where you actually just disregard everyone, and it's now like this egotistic thing where you just like all upfront and it's just about me. However, if you do struggle to prioritize small little things for yourself, take one thing at a time. And the beautiful thing about prioritizing yourself and putting yourself first, there are so many different angles and ways in which you can do this. honestly, relating to the individuals that are part of this platform and being part of Jeff, merely doing a session, like a workout session, proper nutrition, things like that, is already one mechanism of you bettering yourself and putting time aside towards prioritizing yourself and building yourself up. A lot of times we don't necessarily do that for ourselves, but I think that's also, once again, a mindset switch that you need to be making, that it's first done for yourself and then for others. But the other beautiful thing, and I have actually spoke to the instructors about this, is actually looking at what you need. Like, what type of thing do you need to incorporate on like a weekly or a monthly basis that's going to make you feel good about yourself? And whether that's like, I've started incorporating now. So I think my guilty pleasure, as simple as this sounds, my partner said to me actually today, I told him, I was like, I'm on my way for a haircut. And he was like, Joe, you're wasting money on a haircut, because I do it like every 2 weeks. However, it's that one thing, honestly, that makes me feel better about myself and that I use to spoil myself. I know Dom, for example, she goes for a massage at least once a month or every 3 weeks. And small things like that as well, in retrospect, is what she's doing to prioritize herself and kind of just put herself first before doing other things.
Exactly. And I think, Joe just mentioned something now that I want to touch on is the fact that a good starting point, first of all, is to have the discussion with yourself. What is important to you? What is it that you're after in life, one, and what makes you happy, right? Once you've kind of established that, then we put a plan together, all right? And a slow and steady plan is obviously a more successful plan, because it's not too overwhelming. So once you have identified what it is that you thoroughly enjoy, that makes your soul happy, that fills up your cup, we slowly start approaching that, right? And I want to just hit you guys with a quote, and this is something that really hit me, is use the weekend, all right, to create the life you want to live and not escape the life you live. All right, I'm going to say that again.
It's beautiful.
Use the weekend to create the life you want to live and not escape the life you currently live. All right?
Amen.
So the first thing that comes to my mind is from that quote is that we all go through, we wake up on the Monday, your alarm goes off and we're off to work. All right? And it's a mad rush. You're going. It's kids at school, it's school sports, it's work, it's your boss, it's admin that, and we slow down, right? And that's when we kind of like, life's stressful. Let me just leave my haircut. Let me not go to my massage because I need to get this workout done, all right? Or I need to get this, whatever it is, done for work, all right? Start slow. Plan, get to the weekend. Let's start on the weekend, all right? Let's do things for ourselves. Even if you're doing one single thing over a weekend, do that consistently throughout 4 or 5 weeks. You're feeling good. You feel that, you've built some good routine, and then look at, all right, where throughout the week could I spend 5 to 10, 15 minutes for myself? Maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, maybe daily, just to kind of start filling up your cup. We like I said, we're rushing, we're working, we're exceptionally busy. And generally the first thing that we start neglecting is ourselves, all right?
100%.
So put a plan to that, one step at a time. You will slowly start feeling better. And like I said, when we start filling up our cup, all right, we've got more to give, all right? And in that same breath, you're also going to, like I said earlier, you're going to have that energy about you, that you're looking after yourself, you're accomplishing things, whether that's mentally or physically, in all aspects of your life. And people are going to, just want to be surrounded by you, because you're giving that energy that you're complete control of what you are going and doing through life.
Exactly. Team, I've noted down 5 ways to drop guilt when putting yourself first, and I've written them down on my laptop in front of me, and I want to read them through to you guys and just touch shortly on each topic. Lou will also definitely jump in where it relates and resonates. So first one, learn more about the importance of self-care. And I think this is the first step to what we're doing right now. We're learning why it is important to take care of yourself. And by understanding that, it's already giving you more understanding as to why you should be doing it and applying it. Secondly, give yourself permission to focus on yourself. I think that's a step that we all need to take with any task that we do on a daily basis. You have to first actually accept that it's something that you want to do. On any journey, anything that you want to embark on, something that's new, prioritizing might be something that's new to a lot of you.
Yeah.
And give yourself permission to do that.
Yeah.
Thirdly, and this is my favorite, team, I'm going to take this nice and slow. And like, this is what I'm saying. If you got that pen and paper, please write this phrase down. And it states, remind yourself that the people you love and care about the most love you too. And like, I get goosies when I think of that, because we don't always remind ourselves about that. As much as you want to be building other people up, so do they want you to be that best version of yourself, especially the people that are closest, nearest, and dearest to you. And I did a talk in one of the courses that we did, which was Take Back Your Power, or Take Back Your Mind, with Tash. And I remember in that course, I spoke to a lot of my clients about it. And the one thing that they said to me was like, Joe, but I can't escape for 10 minutes to reflect on a daily basis. Like, I've got kids, I've got my husband. There's like just so many things I need to do. And all I said was, verbalize to them that this is something you need to be a better version of yourself. If you feel that your family members are not necessarily going to, if you're making this assumption they're not going to support the fact that you need to maybe eat healthier, if you need to do something differently to what they're doing, if you emphasize the importance of what this change is going to be for the betterment of yourself, if those people nearest and dearest to you really do love you, and they do want to see you grow, which I promise you they do, they'll be more than willing to make those adjustments and changes for you. Sorry, Lee, I'm going to go through the next two. So the next one is learn how to say no to demands on your time. So this is something that we've spoken about quite often as well. And to give more context to that, is a lot of times if you've actually structured out your day and you've got relevant things that you need to do, for example, with your job, if we know that at 12:30 we've got a meeting based on programming, for example, we're going to attend that meeting. Why don't we do that relating to other aspects of our lives that better ourselves?
Exactly.
And I think it's so relevant to actually slot these times and slot these desires and needs and wants into your daily routine, and make sure that you prioritize that just as much as you would prioritize certain responsibility. And the last one is brainstorm quick ways to take care of yourself. So note down exactly where those aspects are, what you're needing, whether it is on a mental stimulation, physical stimulation, social stimulation, personal stimulation, emotional stimulation, whatever that must be. Note that down and note down those ways to actually take care of yourself. Okay, that's a lot from me, Lou.
No, I mean it's great. You know, we all want that guidance and know exactly what steps to take to kind of start self-prioritizing ourselves, you know, and focusing on self-love and appreciation. But I think, you know, a thing that I loved what you said there was the fact that we need to kind of start by accepting. And if you look at the word love within self-love, for me, I mean, there are many reasons to what, and everyone's got a different definition as, you know, as to what love means. But two of the main things that stand out for me when it comes to self-love, whether that's love in a relationship or, you know, friendship or whatever that might be, is acceptance and trust.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the reason I say that is you accept a person and you trust a person if you love that person. All right. It's there. So we need to kind of, like what Joe said, they accept. We need to go back, and it's a relationship that we are building with ourselves, right? First of all, is the acceptance there? Do I accept myself for who I am? All right, and I feel that we should. We've been put on this planet. We've been pushed in a certain direction or a journey, or we've created this direction for ourselves that we must accept the fact that what we are doing is the right thing. All right, and our intentions are right, and trust. You trust yourself. Right? You believe that you are going to make it to a certain point, because with trust, with acceptance comes a lot of other stuff. And the thing for me that comes after that is very important is self-confidence. All right. Yeah. If you trust yourself, you back 100% what you say, you are going to go into a situation or walk into a room, all right, with confidence. Your head's going to be up because you 100% trust that you're walking into this room for a reason. You're walking into this meeting for a reason. And Another thing where Joey said there that if you can't find that time to spend that 10 minutes for yourself, diarize it. If you live your week by a diary through work, why is your personal things not in that diary, right? Because what happens is we from 8 to 6 or whatever time you're working, it's work stuff, all right? But we neglect ourselves, we get tired, we come home, it's kids, and life is there. Life is happening. It's not waiting for anyone. Put those moments, that 10 minutes, that 5-minute chill, whatever that might be for you, put it into your work diary, because no one is going to book a meeting and see, oh, well, Joey's going for a walk or he's having a coffee or a haircut. I can't do a meeting over that time. I'm going to have to look for another time, all right? Yes, maybe sometimes you're going to push and play around with the times, but what is important is that we start. We start by, putting it into our diaries. We're living that, all right? Yeah. We're taking action and we're pushing for that. Very important.
I mean, something that you said, which resonates so much with me, and something that I don't talk about often, but it's that feeling of self-esteem and self-confidence, and it's tough. I think a lot of us, even though we sometimes seem like we're overly confident, I think a lot of people actually hide the fact that there's so many insecurities. And I think the one thing that I just want to share from personal experience to those of you that are watching this, is just the fact that it's not necessarily going to just go away. It's not an easy process.
Never.
In building yourself, it sometimes will sometimes be a forever journey to get to that point of actually fully loving yourself and looking in the mirror and being accepting of who and what you are. But I think the first thing is to actually, in your current state, and what Louis said is so true, is accept your current insecurities, accept your current state, with the mindset and the understanding that there's always growth available. There's always time available to better yourself. And whether you're not going to get to that prestige place that you feel you want to be, the mere fact that you are steadily getting to a better place than your current state is already a win in itself.
Exactly.
And I just want to emphasize the fact, team, that it's not necessarily an easy process. And it's the same thing with just behavior change and habitual change. It doesn't just happen. It's a very unrealistic expectation to think that you're going to one day wake up and just be completely chuffed about everything about yourself and in your life. It is something that you need to work towards, and something that you need to actually put certain practices into play on a daily basis to get to that state of mind and that positive place in your life.
Exactly. Team, I made a little note here on my laptop, based on the what I feel, self-confidence in a way means to me. And I noted here that when you master prioritizing yourself, you will feel stronger and more confident, right? Confidence is a way of self-assurance arising from appreciation of your qualities and abilities. Confidence means that you are sure about your belief and your actions, but there's a fine line between arrogance and self-confidence and how we portray that, right? Now, I put that last bit in there just to kind of pull it back to me, right?
Yeah.
I'm extremely confident. I'm very confident. I back myself 100%. I believe in myself. I believe in what I'm doing, and there is a very fine line between, being confident and arrogant. A lot of people might think that, Louis, you're exceptionally arrogant, right? and here's my mindset and my thinking behind it, right? Is the fact that, first of all, it's my journey, all right? I'm embarking on this personal journey with myself. And I know, like I just said, there's that fine line. But at the end of the day, and I'm saying this with the most respect, that for me, I value and I take opinions. But at the end of the day, I'm the person that sit there. I sit there and I make the decision based on, am I turning left or am I turning right?
Yeah.
All right. And I want you guys to feel that and think about this for a second. All right. You are 100% in control of what you do. All right. So feel that, the fact that you are the person that's going to make that last call where you're going. You came into this world. You need to be strong, confident, and believe what you're doing. All right. Yes, we value what other people say, but you should not care that it kind of changes your mind into a direction that you are not sure about. If you understand what I'm saying, in no arrogant way do I mean this. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you are the person that is going to make this decision, all right? And you're the person that is going to action this decision. And if that decision is wrong, it's not going to be Joe who's in the fire line for making that decision because he convinced me. It is me, because I made the decision and I followed through with the actions, all right? And that's why I'm sitting where I'm sitting saying what I'm saying, is because I believe what I do, all right? And I value, I take on your opinion, I take your opinion, right? And I'll make an informed decision based on opinions, but at the end of the day, it's where I'm going. It's do I want to go cut my hair or not? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So confidence is key, but of course, we need to accept, like Joey said, accept where we are, accept, trust ourselves, and slowly start implementing that small plan of just prioritizing yourself for a day. And even if you are busy and you're driving, I not often do it, but I find myself sometimes doing this, is I speak to myself. I put the radio off. If you're alone in your car driving from work to home, you had a busy day, you don't have 10 minutes because you're on your way to go cook, sit there, put your radio off, and verbally speak loud to yourself. Like, how did today go for me? Did you have a great day? Yeah, I had an okay day. It was good. I got quite a lot of work done. Great. What did you do for yourself? And start sparking that conversation. When you start writing things down or you start verbalizing things, that's when we start noticing things that are missing. All right.
Yeah.
So
it's accepting.
Yeah.
It's like you're accepting a lot more, and you're not subconsciously. Sorry that I'm like jumping in, but like. That's what happens. Like we go into a spiral within our minds, and it's subconscious thoughts while conscious in that moment, but then underlying goes into a subconscious state of mind, and then you just forget about it because life happens.
Exactly.
And so the spirals until you get to like a day where you're like, whoa, like you just go, then everything just comes to life and you're like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you just feel that you're in like this rut.
Yeah.
Whereas what Lou is saying, if you're actually verbalizing, noting down, it ties into what we said initially, you're accepting. You're not, and also not only accepting the bad, accepting the good. And 100%. I think that's what you're talking into now as well.
I think, it's a good place to start of like identify where the holes are, what's missing. And it's a very good space to obviously manifest positivity. Driving there, that you are extremely capable of, you are extremely great, you are, manifest that, believe that, because you are. I promise you are.
Exactly.
If you weren't, you would have been on a different path. You would not be sitting here listening to this right now. And it's very important that you guys do verbalize and have these conversations with yourself, because it will open up and bring a lot of light to your situation, wherever or however you might be struggling at this moment.
I want to also just touch on something that just came to mind now. So in my studies, for those of you that don't know, I studied psychology, and it's something that we've actually applied within Jeff as a business, and it's relating to positive psychology, and it's something that's so relevant to what Lou just said, is what we started doing as employees of Jeff is actually focusing on our strengths and how we can better and build on our strengths as well. And not only focusing on those negative things. I think it's always good to be realistic, to, like Lou said, see where the possible gaps are, where you can build up on them, where you can better yourself. But it's so important as well to like actually verbalize and see those strengths and those good qualities, because that's in retrospect what's going to get you into a better state of mind. You can't always be focusing on what you're doing wrong and not focusing on what you're doing right. Team, I know we are running towards that half an hour mark. I want to just chat to you guys about some mantras that you can actually say, like Lou said, write down, verbalize, and putting yourself first. And I'm going to say them. I'm going to ask Lou to repeat them, because there's nothing wrong with always repeating a mantra. No. So the first one, team, and if you've got the pen and paper, I want you to write it down. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds each to put it in the comments as well there. So the first one is, I deserve joy.
I deserve joy.
So write that down, team. You can put in the comments, you can put on your piece of paper, or you can just say it out loud. The first one, I deserve joy. Secondly,
who's Troy? Yeah, joke.
Secondly, I am important.
I am extremely important.
And that is something we do not say and we do not believe enough, team. I am important and you are important. Thirdly, when I pour into myself, I can shine my light onto others.
When I pour into myself, I can shine my light onto others.
When I pour into myself, I can shine my light onto others. I am worthy of all the things that bring me happiness.
I am worthy of all the things that bring me happiness.
And the last one, team, is I am doing my best.
I am doing my best.
And believe that, team. Do what you can do, what you possibly have the ability to do. Don't overshadow yourself. Don't bombard yourself. Do what you can. I'm going to repeat those one more time. I deserve joy. I am important. When I pour into myself, I can shine my light onto others. I am worthy of all the things that bring me happiness. I am doing my best.
So good. So good. Team,
Love that.
that is gold. You know, write that down, keep that, and you know, manifest that daily. Joe and I have also put together, for those of you that are on our 30-day challenge, that daily routine. And for me personally, if you are a person really struggling to kind of prioritize yourself and give back, this is a way for us to help you and assist you kind of starting the day better. You know, we have taken out that first hour of the day, and we want you guys to really start focusing on yourself. Spend that first hour of the day for yourself. And if you are someone that is very, you know, extremely busy, adapt that same routine. Wake up, even if it's half an hour, you know, before you normally wake up. Spend that first bit of the day for yourself. You know, put your phone down. You don't want to be looking at notifications. You don't want to have any distractions. And if you are watching any content that's relevant to on your phone, you know, download it the night before and have that on flight mode. For me, it's extremely important when you are doing these things that you have no distractions from the outside world, or whatsoever. You want to kind of, you know, have that moment for yourself. You want to have that moment to really kind of speak to yourself and you know, come up with a plan, come up with a solution, come up with a focus. You know, what is my focus for today? What do I want to achieve out today? You know, are we running into the day blindly, or are we just kind of like, you know, we're fishing in the middle of the ocean, just casting a line out and hoping to pull something? All right. Start taking back for yourself. Prioritize yourself. You are extremely important. All right. And once your cup is full, like Joey said there, right, our light will shine onto others. And we've touched on this earlier, that, you know, that light that is going to be shining on other people is the way you feel. People want to be there. People feel that you are, you know, a person that looks after themselves, that better themselves, that you could also then start kind of filling up other people's cup. Very important.
Exactly. Team, thank you for joining us here today. It's been an absolute privilege. Thank you, Lou.
Thanks,
It's been
boy.
so nice doing this chat with you. There will be Ed Talks every Wednesday at 12:30, team, based on different topics on those holistic pillars. Next week, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on nutrition and myths behind nutrition. Also want to just tell the team, we've got incredible courses, so many beautiful courses relating to mindsets, relating to empowering yourself, body kindness, but the burnout course that was released last month. Team, go and have a look at these courses. It's 10 minutes, little module per day. You can fit that into, that can be part of your prioritizing yourself in the mornings, on your way to work, while you're driving. But build yourself up, give yourself more insight, educate yourself on more things and ways that you can, at the end of the day, be the best version of yourself.
There's no right, there's no wrong. It's what you want. That's all you got to remember. All right. Back yourself, acceptance, trust, and action. That's all it is.
Sir.
All right. Team, thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you on our 30-day challenge, we hope that you guys have had a lekker Woensdag sessie with Joey and I. Please let us know what you guys, how you found the session. We'd love your feedback, and share, man, share. We'd also like to hear from you guys on the Facebook group. Go and post there what you have done this week. to give back to yourself. There's no right answer and there's no wrong answer. All right. It is your journey. You are comparing yourself only up against yourself. You have been absolutely outstanding. Thank you for your time joining us. And for those of you watching this on Catch Up, we love you long time.
And remember to treasure yourself.
Don't forget.
Don't forget to treasure yourself.
But thank you so much, Joey. Thanks, Boychi.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you, team.
We'll see you very soon, team.
Have a beautiful one.
We're on a quest to find something of great worth and value.
A quest to find the ultimate treasure. It's time to embark on this journey with us.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with you taking one single step. A positive mindset, physical strength, nutritious food, and encouraging support.
These are the 4 components you'll need to conquer the challenges and hurdles along the way, and ultimately find where X marks the spot. It's so important to be aware of where you're searching, and I'll tell you why. Because more than often, the treasure actually lies within yourself.
It's you versus you.